But now that I know, this totally look like big toes sticking out of the grass.
Big toes?
Yeah. Honey, you're walking on the giant's big toes. You better make sure he doesn't start wiggling.
What's good, Dark Mafia? We're back, like always. So I'm switching it to Monday to Friday now. Alright? Monday through Friday, y'all gonna get videos around 4:30, 5 o'clock. Merch is coming soon. It's looking good too. Like I said, I'm just waiting on some samples to come in and stuff like that. You know, just to make sure it's good quality. It says it's premium stuff, so I just want to make sure that it is premium stuff. Today we got a 34-minute video, some stuff we're going to react to, nothing in particular. Just, you know, the usual creepy, you know, conspiracy, whatever stuff that we like on this channel, Dark Mafia, you know, so let's go, let's get it, let's get to it.
Spotted near a home in Compton. Take a look at this. Look at the right corner of your screen here. Ring video from Jessica Ortiz's home camera caught someone or something walking by her home. She said this happened around 1 a.m. on June 5th. Jessica said her two other cameras didn't catch anything and her neighbors didn't notice anything either. Paranormal investigator Zach Baggins also weighed in on the footage.
I was sitting in my son's room with my son. We were staring at each other like, what do we do?
I gotta zoom in.
We didn't even know what to do. Like, I'm not going to call the police. I'm not going to go outside. I guess I'm going to have to live with the doubt because I'm not checking.
I wouldn't see there's anything to worry about, but I cannot conclude that this is a hoax after seeing that footage, that's for sure.
Now, Jessica said some people think it's a child, a mariachi, or even a large cockatoo. UFO and chemtrail expert Mick West believes it's someone playing a prank, saying it doesn't look like a being walking and the lower half is transparent with no legs.
No, that's something on the interstate.
There's smoke coming out of it.
What the hell is that?
There's a freaking smoke ring around it.
What is that? I don't know.
What is that? Freaking UFO. Look at that thing.
What is that? I'm videoing it.
She's videoing it. Good job.
It just shot out of smoke.
It just shot out of a smoke ring. Well, I saw it over here, and I was like, man,
SpaceX thing?
those clouds are moving weird, and then it kept coming.
But SpaceX would be doing
It's still showing up really good on the camera, though.
Camera. My boy AOK says it's not a potato 99.
It's disappearing, but I can still see it on the camera. And it's...
You ought to see the smoke ring it put out.
I think these people got an interdimensional being on their camera.
Check this out.
Hi, you are currently being recorded.
That doesn't look like anything I've ever seen before on Earth. So like a little light followed by a bunch of little lights.
You know what that look like? It look like, you ever seen Jurassic Park, Mr. DNA? I don't know why, but that came to my mind. That's what it looked like to me.
I mean, what could this be? That's definitely strange. If you have any idea what this bunch of little lights could be, let me know in the comments below. There's a bunch of videos like this where people will catch weird stuff like this happening in like on the porch light or with the camera going. This is very strange to me. It's like the light's getting...
Hello, my name is Ken Kaufman, 33 years old, healthy for the most part. Lately, something strange has been happening to me. I've been having these dreams of this thing standing there, watching me while I sleep. I drew a sketch. I've read about sleep paralysis where someone has these lucid dreams of this presence in their room. I've been waking up with excruciating headaches and these. I've never been a rough had any history.
Oh, I'm messing it up. I'm messing it up. What happened? Uh-oh, technical difficulties, y'all. Technical difficulties. Alright, sorry guys. I messed with the hotkeys and messed everything up. So let's get back to it, alright? Sorry.
I've read about sleep paralysis where someone has these lucid dreams of this presence in their room. I've been waking up with excruciating headaches and these. I've never been a rough sleeper or have had any history of sleepwalking. Could it be the onset of a combination of sleeping disorders? I think it's concerning enough to seek help, but I can't afford it. At least, not right now. Tonight I'll be recording myself while I sleep to see exactly what I'm doing.
Oh no. Who's this in this blanket?
It's clear.
You sure nothing's missing?
Nothing. I would know. I don't have much worth value anyways.
Make sure you keep all the doors and windows locked tonight. I'm gonna hang around the neighborhood and keep an eye on the house. And give me that videotape.
A security camera covers a suburban driveway.
It seems like a calm, normal night in this Texas suburb, until suddenly these two very strange creatures appear. They are really bizarre. They appear to be about 2 feet tall, crouched over like demonic gremlins.
Sorry for the volume, guys.
The driveway with an unknown purpose.
The more I watch this, the creepier it gets.
What are these highly unusual creatures, and where did they come from?
And then, one of them shoots something.
Whoa! I did not expect it to do that. That's crazy.
Popping fireworks.
Light being shot into the sky.
Looks almost like a missile firing out.
Could that be some kind of a laser gun or communication device?
Little creatures waddling around beams of light. It's hard not to make the jump to thinking they're aliens.
Interesting.
This video that I'm about to show you guys really did open my eyes up and kind of had my jaw drop. Let me know your personal thoughts in the comments, but I'm just still trying to get over this.
Who is the Antichrist? I've got this question a lot in my DMs so many times, so I figured I would address who I believe it is. A lot of people message me saying they know for sure it's Trump. A lot of people message me and say that they know for sure it's Obama. Understand something, the Antichrist is not going to be a hated person at first. Revelation 13 talks about how the Antichrist will be loved and worshiped and followed all across the world. Everyone's going to love this man at first. Before I get into it, I want you to understand everything that God does, Satan mimics in his own little ways. Just as God sent Jesus to die on the cross for all of our sins, Satan will also send his son, the Antichrist. So no, I do not think that it will be Trump because a lot of people hate that man. I don't think that it will be Obama because a lot of people hate that man. I do, however, believe the Antichrist will be this man right here, MrBeast. Also, the Bible refers to the Antichrist as the Beast. He is literally the biggest social media influencer of all time. The whole entire world pretty much knows who this man is. Out of all this man's main YouTube channels, he has over 450 million subscribers. It doesn't even include all of these other subscribers I'm fixing to show you. He has channels for people in Mexico that speak Spanish. He has channels for all of these different countries. Here's his channel for people in Brazil. Keep in mind, I did not add any of these subscribers up. Remember, the whole world will love this man at first. Here's him in Africa building over 100 wells for these people. Very nice and generous of him, right? Here's him giving over 100 houses away. Very, very generous of this man, right? Keep in mind, the whole world is loving and praising this man for all the great, generous things he's doing. Let's dig deeper because it's about to get very interesting. Isn't it funny that he said he would run for president and everybody is behind him, backing him, saying, hey man, we would support you. You're so great. We love you. Let's take a look at Revelation 13:2. It says, and the beast I saw was like a leopard, and his feet were like a bear's, and his mouth was like a lion's mouth. And to it the dragon gave his power and his throne and great authority. Satan gives him his power. Remember, the head of a leopard and the mouth of a lion. The name MrBeast alone should be a major red flag. The Bible describes the Antichrist as the beast. Keep in mind, this dude could have picked any name, anything, but he calls himself MrBeast. Now here's a part that's really about to make you scratch your head. Remember when I said in the very beginning that God sent his son Jesus to die on the cross for our sins? We are his children. Those that believe in me will not perish. All you have to do is believe in him if you want eternal life. Just listen. Well, Satan will send his son, the Antichrist. And the Antichrist, the Bible says, will force all great, free, small, rich, powerful. It doesn't matter who you are. You will all be forced to receive a mark on your right hand or your forehead. And those that do not get it will be persecuted. When you accept this mark, you become part of Satan's. There is no going back. Your eternity is sealed. And if you don't get this mark, you get persecuted. When you take this mark, you literally become a child of Satan's. Now, this is MrBeast's girlfriend, Thea. And Thea wrote a book. Out of all the titles this woman could have chose, just wait, it's going to blow your mind. She writes a book called The Marked Children, where children are born with magical marks on their bodies. If that doesn't make you sit and scratch your head, I honestly don't know what to tell you. Oh man, look how nice he is. Over 1,000 blind people can see again. Sounds pretty biblical to me, huh? The Bible says that the Antichrist will be wounded by the sword, but yet he lives. In other words, he will suffer a fatal wound and come back to life. When he comes back to life, that is when Satan will enter him. For everyone saying, oh no, MrBeast is just too nice, he would never do anything like this, Satan himself was once an angel. I'm not saying 100% that he is the Antichrist, but he's a very great candidate to be one.
Talk about the weirdest shit that he heard when he was at S4.
No, what was it?
He said the weirdest shit was they said they had a very thick file that was about religion. And basically what it boiled down to is, at least what this file was saying, was that they view us as containers.
Yes.
And he wasn't specifying containers of what, like containers of souls, and like I don't know, but that's the terminology they used. They view us as containers. Can you imagine if like a soul is an energy that you have to farm or that you have to extract, just like how we extract oil from the earth, that souls are things you extract, and so you need to grow a bunch of them So you need people to just fuck up a storm and clutter up a planet. And really what you're doing is just farming souls.
Yeah, dude, that's so
Can you imagine?
crazy.
You think that you're an OnlyFans model and you're a DJ at a strip club and you're a football player and you're a top scientist and you're this and you're that and but really on the highest level, you're just in a farm. You're in a farm and there's a super intelligent entity that's above and beyond anything you could ever comprehend, and the only thing it doesn't have is souls. So it needs souls because souls are a real element. It's just like you need cobalt to make a battery.
Yeah, that's the belief.
You actually need a soul.
We're the battery that runs the simulation. It's so deep, dude.
Well, why would it? Why is that weirder than black holes? You know?
Have a look at this newspaper from 1964 by the Bridgeport Sunday Post. It says the moon is a mirage, a reflection of the Earth's surface. Now, this is very interesting, but check this out. This is the German World War II flat Earth map showing more continents and lands beyond the ice wall. So here's the map right here, and here's the moon. And you can see this is where we live right here within this circle. And this is exactly what the Germans knew. And the map's also showing these continents outside of our ice wall, outside of the firmament. Now have a look at the Prague astronomical clock. This is the oldest working clock in the entire world. And not only does it track time, it tracks solar movements, it tracks equinoxes, it tracks lunar positions and the moon phases, it tracks zodiac signs, solstices, and the seasons with pinpoint accuracy running for over 600 years. In the middle of this clock, they used the moon map. This clock runs on a geocentric model with the heavenly bodies moving above our stationary Earth. It's the only way that it works, and it's the only way that it works so accurately. If the Earth was spinning and orbiting the sun and doing all sorts of crazy movements through the galaxy, you'd never be able to track with such precision. All our ancestors knew that the stars move above us. That's exactly what we observe. And you want to know something very interesting? During the pandemic, they renovated this clock. They renovated a 600-year-old Tartarian clock. And you want to know what they did? They changed the moon map, the flat Earth map in the middle of the clock to a globe. This is literally how they cover up the real origins of humanity and our true history, guys. This is an absolute abomination, a disgrace to our ancestors. Don't you find it interesting how all these old newspapers, old maps, they all reflect exactly what our ancestors told us, and then, you know, the elites come in and rewrite all of our history, erase the history on the clocks and everything. Now, this is quite literally biblical stuff, guys. The moon reflects the earth. It is as above, so below. If you're a believer in the Bible and you still think that the earth is a globe, then you haven't read the Bible, because the Bible says it's stationary. There's a firmament above us. The moon reflects our stationary earth. You can see it. It's very obvious. They showed the ice wall and everything. You've just been lied to about, look at this. You've been lied to about everything in your life, because what they're doing and why they lie about the heliocentric model and a spinning globe earth is to hide God's true creation. They don't want you to know how powerful you are. They don't want you to know that you were intelligently created by an intelligent creator. They want you to think all of this came from a big bang, that there's no significance to life whatsoever, and you'll just stay stuck and trapped in their matrix system. But once you start to understand the truth, that is when you are set free. And the truth to everything lies within us all.
I think.
This is why you should stay out of the Appalachians. In 2002, military trainee Trevor Hendricks and his Special Forces team found a bizarre frequency deep within the Appalachian Mountains. But that wasn't all. A disturbing blend of blood and chemical odor filled the air. As they ventured onward, a sudden ambush came. Not from a human enemy, but massive, horrifying wolf-like creatures. It was a brutal, chaotic firefight. Tragically, these beasts consumed 3 of Trevor's squad mates alive in front of him. Trevor and just 2 others quickly fled, narrowly escaping, but their numbers dwindled again as another soldier fell during the retreat while getting flanked. Only Trevor and one of his team members survived. Comment down below what you think happened, like and follow for more.
We need a vampire werewolf video. Definitely coming soon.
You can disappear tomorrow, right? I can walk you through 3 steps right now that's going to help you disappear tomorrow. But none of them are convenient. They're all extremely secure, right? The first thing you do is every piece of digital technology you have that is connected to you in any way is now dead. You just let the battery run out.
Forever.
Forever. You never touch it again, starting at this moment. What you have to do is go out and acquire a new one. Realistically, you will not be able to acquire a new one in the United States by buying it. Because to do so, you would tie it to your credit card, you would tie it to a location, a time, a place, a registered name, whatever else. So you would have to acquire it essentially by theft or through the black market. So you would want something because you're going to need the advantage of technology without it being in your name. So you go out and you steal a phone or you steal a laptop, you do whatever you have to do to make sure that you can get on with the password and whatever else that might be, as dirty or as clean as you want that to be. We're all morally flexible here. But now you have a technological device that you can work with. And then from there on, you're just doing whatever you have to do, whether you're stealing every step of the way or whether you run a massive con. Keep in mind that we often talk about con men and cons. Do you know what the word that con is a root word for? Confidence. That's what a con man is. A con man is a confidence man.
Mm-hmm.
Just somebody who is so brazenly confident that the people around them, living in their own perception, not perspective, in their perception, they're like, well, this guy really knows what he's talking about, so I'm going to do what he says. So you can run a massive con, and that can take care of your finances, that can take care of your lodging, whatever else it is. You are whoever you present yourself to be. So if you want to be Bill for the afternoon, just go tell people your name is Bill. They're not going to question you.
So the intelligence, the natural web of intelligence gathering systems we have in the United States and in the world, are they going to believe for long that you're Bill? Are they?
Until you do something that makes them think otherwise. If you are consistent, we talked about consistency being the superpower. If you are consistent, they will think you're Bill forever.
It was the most secret program ever conducted by the CIA in the United States. Patients at psychiatric hospitals, prisoners in federal institutions, and even people in the public were given drugs without their awareness or consent and experimented upon.
What if the most terrifying science fiction stories weren't fiction at all? What if the real monsters were hidden behind government seals, buried in redacted files, and locked away in vaults marked top secret? Tonight, we peel back the layers of deception to reveal the darkest, most chilling secrets ever declassified by the CIA. These aren't just stories. They're documented operations, experiments, and conspiracies that sound too twisted to be true. But they are.
The CIA was scared stiff the KGB was going to get all this LSD and come over and start dosing people. So we bought every drop of LSD in existence at that point.
Operation Midnight Climax, the CIA's LSD brothels. In the heart of San Francisco and New York during the 1950s and 60s, the CIA operated a series of safe houses under the innocuous-sounding Operation Midnight Climax. But behind these doors, a sinister experiment unfolded. Sex workers on the CIA's payroll lured unsuspecting men into these locations, where they were secretly dosed with LSD. Behind one-way mirrors, CIA operatives observed and recorded their reactions, aiming to study the effects of the drug and explore mind control techniques. The goal? To determine if individuals could be manipulated into revealing secrets or even committing acts against their will. These experiments violated ethical standards and the rights of countless individuals, many of whom never knew they were part of a clandestine operation. But what happened next shocked everyone. Project MK Ultra, the quest for mind control. Project MK Ultra was the CIA's most infamous mind control program, initiated in the early 1950s. Under the direction of chemist Sidney Gottlieb, the agency conducted a series of experiments involving LSD, hypnosis, sensory deprivation, and other methods on unwitting subjects. Victims included prisoners, mental patients, and even CIA employees. One tragic case involved Dr. Frank Olson, a government scientist who was unknowingly dosed with LSD and later died under mysterious circumstances. The official story claimed suicide, but many believe he was silenced to prevent the truth from emerging. The program's unethical practices eventually came to light in the 1970s, leading to public outrage and congressional hearings. Yet many details remain shrouded in secrecy, leaving us to wonder, how deep did the rabbit hole go? Project Artichoke, can you create an assassin? Before MKUltra, there was Project Artichoke. Launched in 1951, this CIA initiative aimed to determine whether individuals could be compelled to commit assassinations against their will. Using hypnosis, forced addiction, and psychological manipulation, the agency explored the boundaries of human control. One chilling question posed in a declassified memo: can we get control of an individual to the point where he will do our bidding against his will and even against fundamental laws of nature, such as self-preservation? The implications are terrifying. If successful, this program could have created real-life Manchurian candidates, individuals programmed to kill without memory or remorse. Project Stargate, psychic spies, and remote viewing. In the 1970s, the CIA ventured into the paranormal with Project Stargate, a program exploring the potential of psychic phenomena for intelligence gathering. The focus was on remote viewing, the ability to perceive distant or unseen targets through extrasensory perception. Notably, Israeli psychic Uri Geller
Ground. So there are two options. One, whoever built the statues first dug holes, then buried 30-foot tall, 80-ton statues up to their necks, then filled in the holes. Or two, the statues were completely above ground, but at some point were buried.
I'm thinking about doing like an MKUltra video and like declassified CIA stuff. I don't want to get into too much trouble on this, but you know, we're just reacting to stuff that's already out there.
Buried by something. And look at Easter Island. It's a tiny island in the middle of nowhere. At one point, 12,000 people lived there. Where did they come from? Mainstream anthropology says that people from Polynesia took a canoe out thousands of miles in the middle of the Pacific and hoped for the best. But if the continent of Mu was real, then they could have just walked there. This could also explain why Polynesian languages share similarities to Greek, and maybe why on Easter Island they worshipped a sun god called Ra, which is awfully close to the Egyptian sun god Ra. And the connections don't stop there. There are similarities between Greek, Egyptian, and even Indian gods, as if all these cultures intermingled or came from a single source. Chan Thomas lays out some good evidence for the cyclical cataclysm theory. But the big questions are how and when will it happen? Well, you're not going to like the answer. Dr. Chan Thomas lays out a compelling argument for a coming global cataclysm. But when? Well, to answer that, we have to understand how it happens. In the story of Adam and Eve, Thomas includes a diagram showing the cross-section of the Earth and a description of the process.
The process of a cataclysm is known now. Look at the cross-section of the Earth inside the front cover. You'll see two molten layers, the orange ones. The important one is the thin molten layer starting 60 miles down, extending 60 miles deeper to 120 miles below the surface of the Earth. The thick, deep molten layer starting 1,800 miles down at the bottom of the mantle and extending 1,300 miles deeper is the outer core. Seismology has proven these two orange layers to be molten, and they are white hot, over 2,500 degrees Fahrenheit.
But Dr. Thomas was able to predict seismic activity all over the world.
Inside the Earth, the electrical and magnetic structure of the interior makes the layers act as if they were near solid. As long as the magnetic and electrical structure of the Earth maintains its orderliness, it keeps rotating on axis in a normal manner. Every few thousand years, the magnetic and electrical orderliness in the shallow molten layer is disorganized. to the extent that the shallow molten layer is allowed to act as a free liquid, which then serves as a lubricant for the ice caps to pull the shell around the Earth's interior so as to have the ice caps shift about 90 degrees into the torrid zone.
When this event occurs, the layer beneath the Earth's crust turns from solid to liquid. Then the land masses can slide around.
When 9/11 happened, there was someone present.
That's terrifying, man. That's one of my big fears is stuff the Earth does, you know, just in general. I kind of feel like I can feel that when we talked about the Earth speeding up and whatnot. Does anybody else feel like they can feel it moving faster? Or is that just me?
Witnessed it, unfortunately, you know, how traumatic that would have been. And his name was Gerard Way. You know who that is?
No.
So it was a guy who was trying to deal with this, going to his therapist, and started creating music and came up with a band called My Chemical Romance.
Oh
right?
my gosh.
And then there's a girl named Stephanie Meyer who had listened to My Chemical Romance and was inspired by their music and started writing books that went on to become the Twilight series. Not even finished. Then there's somebody who read the Twilight series and started creating a fan fiction of it. His name was E.L. Wright, I believe.
Oh, I know where this one's going.
Yep. And he went on to create a fan fiction for the Twilight series that somehow transformed into 50 Shades of Grey. So just just as if
that's a double,
just as if like the 9/11
triple
wasn't
tragedy.
Yeah. Just as if it wasn't bad enough already, that's what it led to.
9/11 was a terrible day, and it led to more terrible things.
Years and years later. It's absolutely awful.
CIA declassified documents and said that there was a saucer flying over a bunch of Soviet soldiers. The Soviet soldiers shot at the saucer and it crashed. The beings emerged from the wreckage and turned all of the soldiers to stone except for 2 of them.
That's fire.
The CIA
fire
declassified these documents.
Where did this happen?
What you mean? You don't read.
You don't read, Al.
Typical.
Al, you don't read.
You know what that called? You know what kind of that's called?
What's that?
Yeah, and I'm not gonna say it in front of you.
You're scared.
Yep.
Scared.
Hold on.
Scared.
Hold on.
Scared.
CIA declassified. It's everywhere. You can pull up a website. Declassified Cold War era CIA files detail Soviet clash with aliens who witnesses say turned soldiers to stone. A declassified Cold War era file from the CIA has gone viral over its coverage of a supposed clash between Soviet soldiers and a UFO. Following the collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991, the CIA acquired a 250-page KGB report recounting the events that transpired after a platoon fired at a flying saucer over Ukraine. The report includes eyewitness accounts and pictures of the aftermath, which one American agent described as a horrific picture of revenge on the part of extraterrestrial creatures, a picture that makes one's blood freeze. CIA released that and y'all don't give a fuck.
But now that I know, this totally look like big toes sticking out of the grass.
Big toes.
Yeah.
Those are big toes.
Honey, you're walking on the giant's big toes. You better make sure he doesn't start wiggling.
Some big feet coming out the ground.
I'm on the CIA Astro Projector site of TikTok.
So happy you're here. Let's go through it rapid fire. So there are many CIA declassified documents where they explore the psychic abilities of humans. Now, during this time that the CIA was doing this, tensions were high between the US, the Soviet Union, China, and the US heard that Russia and China were training psychics and having a lot of success with it. So they were like, we gotta look into this. Does it sound familiar? If you've seen Stranger Things, you know how Elle is able to send herself to the void. And in the void, she can see things. Well, the CIA was testing very similar things. They were doing astral projection, remote viewing. Remote viewing is essentially one's ability to send one's consciousness to a different space, different time.
Hey, sorry if the video's a little choppy, guys. I gotta see what's going on with it, but I'm still gonna get this video out to you guys.
And you're able to see certain details and write them down. So the question is, did it work?
I'm talking about on my end. It
1979,
looks
the
like
US
I'm
was
chopping.
remote viewing the Soviet. Joe McMoneagle, who's one of the most famous remote viewers, remote viewed a dry dock location where the Soviets were working on a new submarine, significantly larger than anything they've done before. He wrote the report, but a lot of people didn't believe it because it was beyond what they believed the Soviets had the capabilities to do until they looked into it and found it. In 1974, Pat Price remote viewed a top secret Soviet research facility. He literally drew a picture and gave the location, all of which was confirmed. But here's where it gets crazy. Let's talk about Joe McMoneagle again. In 1984, the CIA wanted to do a remote viewing experiment with him. He was not told what he'd be remote viewing prior to the experiment. He went into a room, he sat down, and he was given an envelope. The envelopes had coordinates and a specific time. So what he saw was large pyramid-like structures, canyons, valleys, and the remnants of an advanced civilization. The planet was undergoing severe climatic and atmospheric changes. He saw lots of massive dust storms. He saw these tall, skinny humanoid figures that looked distressed from the environmental conditions. The beings appeared to be looking for a way to escape the planet, because the planet, its civilization, it was at its twilight. So what was he remote viewing? The information he was provided was Mars 1,000,000 years ago. Mars 1,000,000 years ago. Obviously, there's like no way to know if that is true, but there are many instances where remote viewing has been proven to be effective. In 1979, the Pioneer 11 spacecraft was able to see Saturn, where it discovered that Saturn had rings. Here's the crazy thing. This is Ingo Swann, a very famous American psychic. In 1973, so 6 years before that, he remote viewed Saturn and described its rings. He spoke of its atmosphere, storms, faint ring system, all which science later confirmed. That's wild, that's crazy, it's amazing what the human consciousness can do. One of the groups that the CIA would work with was called the Monroe Institute, which still runs today. And this is the craziest aspect about everything. They teach that every single human being has these abilities, and they literally teach you courses on how you can learn to do it yourself. They even teach you how to freaking bend spoons with your mind. They offer like in-person courses, but there's also a ton of free stuff everywhere online. But it's crazy. It is such a fun rabbit hole. You need to dive in.
I think the ocean creatures are very bizarre.
How about those giant squid that they found on that oil tanker? So they had a camera deep under this oil rig, and they spotted this thing with these insane long appendages. Look at this.
Oh, whoa. Yeah, that's different.
Look at the fucking length of those, what'd you call those things?
Tentacles?
But look at the legs on it. It's like an insect.
Yeah, that's very bizarre.
And it's 100 feet. It's huge. Like, look at that thing.
It's crazy.
I mean, if you saw that underwater, you would shit your pants.
100%.
You won't believe it, but there seems to be a giant creature the size of a continent under Antarctica. The thing is that the instruments measuring the height of waves for the past year have been recording a strange anomaly there, as if a giant creature the size of Texas is floating out of there. And the strange thing is that during this anomaly, people around the world have been recording the sea moving away from the shore. And from oil platforms, there's footage of sharks gathering in huge packs as if they're afraid of something. Also, after this anomaly, passengers on the world's most gigantic cruise ship, the Icon of the Seas, made this video that shows a giant creature unknown to science, and it's like very angry, and this creature is much bigger than any whale. And after this incident, divers decided to investigate exactly what was going on underwater in that area, and came across a mysterious 3-meter-long egg of an unknown creature. And believers all over the world are sure that all these events are directly connected with the Bible, and more precisely, with the awakening of the biblical creature called Leviathan, which is the harbinger of the day of judgment for our planet. And that is why strange events have been taking place in the sea in recent years.
Well, that's it for the video today, guys. You know I love you, but it's about that time. Gotta go hit my 9 to 5. Get your boy out of this 9 to 5. Like, comment, and subscribe. Got the merch coming soon. Give me some more video ideas. You know, I'm starting to realize that, you know, this is something I want to do, but I also gotta keep up with it. So send me video ideas. Send me, you know, what you got, ideas for videos, video clips. My email will be in the description, like always. It's been real, man. Stay weird, people. See ya.